the world is watching to see which one is going to violate the ceasefire. Yes, Iran did not trust Israel and America. Yes, with good reason. This war was started by Netanyahu. Iran was ready to be compliant to IAEA rules and international rules. But the day before the negotiation to, have a constructive, deal to Iran's nuclear program, Israel attacked Iran and bombed some of the facilities and then assassinate their military leaders. Very sad. Iran and any other country that is, being threatened by Israel will be complicit to not to pursue the nuclear program. Like country like Turkey, Saudi Arabia as well, and other country within Iran in the Middle East. The moment the United States attack and bomb Iranian nuclear facilities, Natanz, Fordo, and Nasfahan, this shows to the world that, United States is ready to do anything to get what they want, and then which can, encourage other countries within the region to pursue this nuclear program in order to be safe. If we observe what happened in North Korea, after gaining, nuclear power, being nuclear power state, they become safe. So this is telling the world, and then of course the countries that are in the Middle East, that they need to get a nuclear weapon in order to be safe. In fact, Iran is ready to abandon the nuclear program. Yes, Iran was ready to abandon the nuclear program. It started in 2016 when Trump come into power. Yes, to sign a nuclear deal with Iran. Not long ago, Trump abandoned that treaty, and then of course sanctioned Iran. The entire year, Iran was, following the IAEA rules and international community under sanction. They were, willing to be compliant to those rules. Thank you for joining the live, Eva, and then Nabi Ha. Yes, thank you for joining the live. So, but what happened after that sanction? Iran followed the international law to abandon or not to pursue the nuclear program. But after some times, I think recently, Iran wants leverage, as their foreign minister mentioned. They want leverage. That's why they pursue the nuclear program to enrich nuclear more than 3.6, to have the leverage, to have America lift the sanction. But America is not willing to lift the sanction. Let us not forget, Iran is a BRIC member state. Iran is a BRIC member state. So Iran does have an ally. Iran does have an ally. That's China and of course Russia and North Korea. And in fact, a collective South. Yes. You know, a good percentage of the world now, even Europe, support Iran because they know Iran is in the yes, oppressed side. Iran is, you know, is in the oppressed side. It's oppressed by both Israel and United States. Yes. You know, countries want to be free. And of course, the action of United States after bombing Natan, Isfahan, and of course Fordo, that shows the world a lot. That America is willing to do anything to get what they want. So it's quite very sad. And then of course, not long ago, Trump and of course Netanyahu, yes, were yes, planning to go regime change in Iran. Yes, that will be very difficult. That will be very, very difficult because for a regime change to have, you must have the people to revolt against the regime. But yes, a good percentage of the world is behind Iran, and the population of Iran population is behind the regime because they know the Western narration, the Western propaganda is all yes, to give them fake narrative. Yes, that's what the world have. Yes, yes. Thank you very much for joining the live. Yes, I appreciate it. So that's what the world have for China, and then of course people are changing their point of view about China. Yes, because the Western propaganda is the collective South are the bad guys, and the Western countries or the West are the good guys. Yes, so that's their propaganda. The collective South are the bad guys, while the West are the good guys. Yes, coming back to the Iran and Israel yes, ceasefire, the world is watching. The world is watching to see which one is going to violate the ceasefire. Right now, both Iran and Israel are, you know, preparing, yes, for any further aggression. To be honest, both Iran and Israel need the ceasefire, but Israel need the ceasefire most because Israel is badly hit by Iranian missile. Israel need the ceasefire most because if you observe the two, you know, cities in Israel, the cities that are badly damaged is Tel Aviv and Ramat Gan, I believe. So they are badly hit by Iranian missile. Yeah, so the Israeli citizens are suffering a lot. Yes, when we look at what is happening at Gaza Strip, the world seem to, and the Western media are not, are so complacent to tell the people what is really happening, the genocide that the Israeli government and then America and UK and the collective West are doing in Gaza. Yes, they don't want to show the people. So you see the narrative now. Yes, anything that the West is doing bad, they will not. They do not show it to the people. In fact, they will show their narrative. That's the propaganda there, showing the Israel is the victim, and of course, while the Hamas is the aggressor. It's very sad, very very sad. If you look at what is happening at Gaza, it's really really sad. Yes, every day, either 100, 70, 60, or 40 children are being massacred at Gaza. Yes, every day the killing is continuing, no stop. It's a violation of international law, but Israel do not respect international law. I do not listen to anyone. They do what they want. Their military, IDF, do not respect any law. They commit war crime every day. Because if you claim that you are, fighting terrorists, that is the Hamas. The children are not terrorists. The women are not terrorists. The civilians are not terrorists. But they are using the terrorists to, make the narrative to continue what they are doing in Gaza. And the Western media is supporting this genocide. United States is supporting this genocide. UK is supporting this genocide. Collective West, they are supporting this genocide. The killing that is happening in Gaza. It makes me sick. It makes me sick. When you watch children saying that they want to die because of the life they are living in Gaza. They are in constant fear. In fact, the people that are in Gaza, they are in, open air prison. It's just like when you picture it, just like a rat cage. So the civilians are the rats in the cage. So the IDF, play the hunger game. Every day they will come and then kill 40, 50, 70, or 100 of the Palestinian civilians, and most are children. It's very sad. And the West is seeing this happening. The West is seeing this happening without doing something drastic. Let us be honest to each other. If you see Israel is doing this, they are empowered by the West. If the fund and the support from the West is stopped, Israel will stop. This genocide cannot continue. Definitely, it cannot continue. And then recently, the Israel has government, Netanyahu government has, suffered a bad blow from Iran. So that's why I said the ceasefire, Israel needs the ceasefire most. They need the ceasefire most. What they lost in terms of yes, their economy is down in terms of every day what they spend in this war is in billions. So Israel suffered a loss, both physically and economically. So the Iranian regime, yes, is doing everything in its power to defend Iran. That is building the air defense system, which I believe China, like I mentioned, is their ally. Is helping with the air defense. But importantly, we need to, remember that in order to have peace in Middle East, Israel need to understand that it cannot overstep its boundary. When that is established, there will be peace in the Middle East. But Israel cannot just get up one day and go and attack Lebanon or attack or any other country in the Middle East. They are sovereign nation, they must retaliate. So if Israel learn to live peacefully, there will be peace in the Middle East. But Netanyahu wants to, like I mentioned in my previous video, it's in the channel, that Israel wants to be a regional hegemon, power projecting capabilities. Israel wants to be a regional hegemon. They want to have, power in the Middle East, to reshape the geopolitics in the Middle East. That is why they are committing the genocide in Gaza. It's terrible. They have displaced the Palestinian civilians and destroyed their public infrastructure, including housing, hospitals, and public amenities. It's very sad, very, very sad. Every day, the children in Gaza are fearing for their life. Women, every day, they are fearing for their lives. Can you just imagine that? You constantly think of the safety of your life without knowing that whether you will die today or tomorrow or the next day. Because like I said, the Israeli IDF, create a situation or create an environment in Gaza like a hunger game. So the Palestinian civilians are they are just like rat in a cage. Every day the IDF will come and, kill 40, 70, 50, or 100 civilians. You cannot wage a war on civilians and children, killing them, claiming that you are defending yourself. America and Europe always claiming that Israel has the right to defend itself. Yes, Israel has the right to defend itself. Yes, but not to fight the civilians, not to kill the women and the children. That is a war crime. The war is between them and Hamas. So the war should be directed to Hamas and the Hezbollahs and Houthis, not the Palestinian civilian, the women. How many children does the Netanyahu administration and the IDF kill? 10,000, 20,000 or more. Some are not even in the record because some remain in the rubble. It's very, very sad. This is happening right now in Gaza. The civilians are starved. The civilians are starved. Every day they scramble for their life. They scramble for food. They scramble for a piece of bread or flour to feed their family members. This is happening in Gaza. This is happening in Gaza right now as I speak. Some people go 2 days without eating food. This is really serious. And America and West are funding, and Europe are funding this genocide. It's very, very sad. It's very, very, very sad. And sadly, Iran is the only country in the Middle East. Iran is the only country in the Middle East that have the urge to stand by the Palestinian civilians. Where is Qatar? Where is Saudi Arabia? Iran and Yemen. Where is Qatar? Where is Saudi Arabia? Where is Dubai? These are Islamic nations. They sit back, watch their fellow brothers, Muslim, to be slaughtered. This is a shame. This is a shame to the Muslim Ummah. You know, and this is not about Muslim, being a Muslim or being a Christian or a Jew or any other religion or whatever. This is about humanity. This is about humanity. This is about standing by our human brothers, the children that are in Gaza, that have been massacred, killed every day. Newborn babies that are, that are killed in Gaza. Women, pregnant women that are killed in Gaza. Toddlers, 10-year-old child. What will that child do to the Israeli government? Tell me, 10-year-old, what will that child do to the Netanyahu administration? 12-year-old, 15-year-old, they call them Hamas. What they believe is any Palestinians, all the Palestinians are Hamas. That's what they believe, because they believe that the Hamas toddlers, the babies, will grow to become a terrorist, to become a Hamas. I mean, these people are just fearing for their own life. They are fearing for their own life, the lives of their family members. Some families in Israel, in Palestine, their entire families are wiped out. Their entire family are wiped out. The entire generation are wiped out. No offspring. Entire generations are wiped out. Can you imagine that? Sleeping in your you being a Palestinian civilian sleeping in your house, and Israel bomb just explode in your building, and then all the entire building collapse on the family. Just imagine that. Israel has committed a genocide. Israel and Netanyahu administration has committed a war crime. We should not forget this. We should not forget this. This is terrible. And this is very sad. This is very, very, very sad. Thank you very much. Bahnis Kumakar. Yes. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you for joining the live. This is very sad. This is very, very sad. And the sad thing is, Israel, they don't know when to stop. Israel do not know when to stop. This will continue. They start with Palestine. It will go to Lebanon. It will go to Egypt, because that's the dream they have, Greater Israel, to expand the land, because they say they promised land. It will expand to Lebanon. They will take the entire Lebanon, take Egypt, and part of Iraq. Because if you read their Torah, that's the belief they have there. They have the right. It's a divine revelation to them that they need to have the Greater Israel, and in order to have that, they will conquer the entire Lebanon, the entire Egypt, and part of Iraq. It's very sad. It makes me sick to think about this. If you follow what is happening in Gaza, you see toddlers, when they are scanned, the CT scan in their skulls, you will see some video, you see their blood inside their skull, blood. Tell me that is not targeted. The children are being targeted. The children are being targeted. The IDF soldiers should be ashamed of themselves. Remember, they should remember that they are also parents. They have children at home. They have children at home. And can you just imagine a toddler, 10 years or 12 years old toddler, to be constantly thinking and being scared of his own life. The Palestinian people, the Palestinian children, the Palestinian women, the Palestinian civilians has the right to live. Their lives matter. Their lives matter. The Palestinian civilians, their lives matter. Coming to Iran, Iran will not violate the ceasefire, but Iran regime has made it clear that if Israel violate the ceasefire and attack Iran, there will be grave consequences. There will be great consequences. Let us not forget, Israel suffered devastating, destruction by Iranian missiles, much especially the Tel Aviv and Ramat Gan cities are destroyed. And in fact, let us not forget, uh, Israel administration has, issued censorship, not allowing all the journalists to film or report the destructions, or at least some of the destruction that are happening in Gaza. That tells us that Israel is definitely, suffering from this war, this 12-day war. Yes, Israel is definitely, taking blows and hits right now. Yes. And Iran is ready at the moment. They are stockpiling their, ballistic missile arsenals, and then, of course, restocking. And so as Israel also is stocking and preparing. So the only solution, like I mentioned, Israel should acknowledge that in order to have peace in the Middle East, it needs to live with the, other countries within the region. Recently, Erdogan and the Turkey mentioned that they want to replicate what Iran has done to, develop the nuclear, the ballistic missile, and of course, to replicate what Iran has done in order to be safe. Yes, and you cannot quite blame them, because what is happening here is the Israel fitna will continue and spread within the region. It will not stop from Lebanon to Egypt, from Egypt to other countries within the region. It will not stop. So countries within that regions are, waking up. Yes, and the action of the United States bombing the Iranian nuclear facility, Isfahan, Fordo, and Natan. That shows the world that America is, willing to do anything within its power to get what it wants. I mean, this war should not even start in the first place, because the Iran nuclear deal was. Hi, Alexandra Mitz. Thank you for joining. Yes, Iranian nuclear deal was supposed to happen, or was supposed to sign the day before the Israel attack on Iran. Iran is a sovereign nation, so Iran has the right to retaliate, to defend its sovereignty. So the Iranian top general were, killed, and the Iranian nuclear deal negotiator also was killed. Can you imagine if that happened to the America's high-ranking official? It's not quite. Yes, it does not tell well for you to break your promise. So Iran has the right to defend itself in whatever ways, because Netanyahu is the one who started this war. No, Alexandra, I'm not from Zambia. I'm from the Gambia. Yes, I'm from the Gambia. Yes, thank you for joining the live. So this nuclear deal could have been signed by America, that to lift sanctions on Iran, and Iran will not pursue the nuclear program. In fact, the Iranian high-ranking official, that the person who is responsible to negotiate with the American side, clearly mentioned that Iran is willing and ready to sign this deal, nuclear deal, to lift, to abandon the nuclear program and for America to lift the sanction. I mean, that was easy. But before that nuclear was deal was signed, Israel decided to attack Iran. Can you imagine? Israel decided to attack Iran, kill the negotiator, and kill Iranian top high-ranking officials. And the collective West, the Europe, are saying that Israel has the right to defend itself. Yes, Israel has the right to defend itself. So Israel has the right to defend itself, but Iran does not have the right to defend itself. You see the Western propaganda and the double standard here. If you are not collective West, if you are not West, if you are if you are against the West, then you are the criminal. Let us not forget that Iran is not alone. Iran has, allies and partners. So China will not sit and watch Iran to fall. Nor will Russia sit and watch Iran to fall. And North Korea also will not watch and see Iran to fall. Iran is part of BRICS nations. Yes. And China will do anything within its power to make sure Iranian sovereignty is intact. Because if Israel succeeds, the regime change operation, they are going to install their, a puppet leader there, or any leader that is going to be pro-Western ideology. So let us not forget the reason why Iran get rid of the Tsar, their Fourth Imperial Highness, is because that king or the Tsar is pro-West. He support Western ideologies. So the Ayatollah and of course the Islamic movement, were against that. They want Islamic ideology and Islamic principle. They want the country to be run on Islamic principle. That is why they get rid of the Tsar. So America want to change, conduct regime change in order to put in place the former Tsar and put in his son. Iranian will not accept that. In fact, even the regime change operation is successful, Iranian will never ever accept that. Mark my word. Even the regime change is successful, Iranian people will not accept the former Tsar son to come and take over because they know that that person will have the West, will be pro West, will be pro West. So they need to understand that the Iranian people are behind the regime, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. They are behind him because the Western propaganda and the narrative is no longer working now. Not only the Iranian civilians or the citizens, but the entire world now is beginning to realize the Western propaganda and the narrative that they are giving people, that the South countries, the countries that are against West, they are the evil, including China, Russia, Iran, African countries, Latin America, etc., and Middle East. They are the evil, and while America and the West are the good guys. That's the narrative the Western media will give you. So it's no longer working. It's no longer working now. And let us not forget. Let us not forget. Israel cannot be trusted. Israel cannot be trusted. And Iran knows that. This ceasefire, Iran knows that Israel cannot be trusted. And America also cannot be trusted. Because the moment they violate the peace treaty, the nuclear deal, they not only send the message to Iranian people, but they send the message to the world, the entire world, that they cannot be trusted. They can change anytime. Yes. Because Iran, like I mentioned, was willing to accept the nuclear deal, They were willing to accept it. To abandon the nuclear program, to, of course, have the sanction lift by America. Yes. In fact, if you observe the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and the Iranian people, they want to normalize relationship with the entire world. That is why they are not, in fact, that aggressive in the war, because the narration that is been put place to show the world that Iranian people are evil, the regime is that, and then of course the narration and the propaganda to show the entire world that Iran, in fact, is the good guy, and the West and America, in fact, are the oppressor. And people in the world now are beginning to realize that now. So we need to be very, very careful. We need to be very, 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 very careful. Yes. So the narration, the Western narration, the narrative, yes, is structured in a way that can mislead you. So we need to be very careful. And also this ceasefire, like I mentioned in my previous video, should include Gaza. Because let us not forget, this war, the war in the Middle East, started when Israel attacked and committing genocide in Palestine. It enraged Iran and Yemen, the Houthis, and of course the Hezbollahs. So the moment the war is not stopped in Gaza, the genocide, Netanyahu and its administration, the genocide they are committing in Gaza, if it does not stop, there will be conflict. There will be conflict. So I think it's high time for the world to rally behind the people of Gaza, because they are really suffering. They are suffering. Every day, Palestinian, the IDF are killing 50, 40, or 70, or even 100 Palestinian children, women, and civilians in Gaza. And the Western media are so complicit that they are not showing that to the world. They are saying that Israel has the right to defend itself. But let us not forget, who is the oppressor? Who is the oppressor? Israel are claiming that the Palestinian civilians, the children, the women, much especially the children and the women and the pregnant women, They are saying they are terrorists. They are Hamas. That's what they are saying. That is why they are throwing grenades, bombs in their shelters when they are in sleep. They are slaughtering them. They are firing live bullets in food distribution areas, killing civilians. The IDF soldiers will be ashamed of themselves. They are committing war crime. Netanyahu administration is committing genocide, killing innocent children, toddlers, killing children. Can you just imagine being a civilian in Palestine, Gaza, being targeted, being put in an air, concentration camp, to come every day and kill 50, 40, or 100 people without knowing that, having a constant fear for your life, without knowing that either your life will be taken today, tomorrow, or the next day. Can you just imagine that? Put that into perspective. That is how the Gaza, the Palestinian children, the civilian, and of course the women are experiencing at this point in time, at this moment, right now in Gaza. Because the Israel, they don't know when to stop. This war will not stop if Israel, if the fund the West are giving Israel is not stopped. America is part of this genocide. UK is part of this genocide. The Europe, the collective West is part of this genocide. It's very sad. It's very, very, very sad. It's very sad. It's high time for us to rally behind Palestine and of course Iran, because they are in the side of the truth. They are the one fighting, the evil. They are the one fighting the evil. And let it be clear that China will not watch and see Iran to fall. Russia also will not watch and see Iran fall or regime change operation to be conducted. So this is very, very sad. Yes, thank you very much for joining the live. Now we are 45 minutes into the live. Sorry, 48 minutes into the live. It's very sad that what is happening in the world, either in Ukraine, Russia and Ukraine, or what is happening in Gaza, or what is happening in the 12-day war by Israel and Iran. We have reached a moment in history that genocides are happening, and then Western powers are so complacent. They are watching what is happening in Gaza. They are watching that is happening in other part of the world. and then of course without doing a drastic move to put a stop to it. Remember, if Israel happened to, nuke Iran, it is going to be very consequential. It's going to be very, very consequential, because other countries also, like Russia, Pakistan, and other countries, will have the excuse to use nuke. So, which we do not need at this point in time. The world needs peace, and America should be in the forefront promoting that peace. In fact, this world, we have a lot of problems that we need to solve. That is the climate problem. The climate problem is a world problem. So we need to solve that. We go back to UN to make sure every country is safe. Every country respect UN Charter. Every country promote peace. But Israel, it seems to be the only country, Israel and America seem to be the only country that do not respect the international laws. We need to promote peace. We need to promote peace. And we need to put a stop to this genocide that is happening in Gaza. There will be no peace in the Middle East if there is no peace in Gaza. So let us rally behind the people of Gaza. There is thank you very much for being with me in the live. And if you have comment, yes, thank you very much for connecting with us. Yes, and of course, yes, you can be kind to join our membership or support our channel, either super thanks or any other means. Yes, thank you very much for joining with me.